Dear students, our third topic of Unit 2 is how to manage intercultural communication. It is really a big challenge to maintain intercultural communication, and this is quite natural and it is quite compulsory. It cannot be avoided. If we say that we can avoid it, and without the knowledge of intercultural communication, we can manage our business, we can manage our professional life, it can't happen. So this is necessary for us to understand it and to implement it in our day-to-day life. So the first point is sensitive and aware of various cultures. There are various cultures in the world, and sensitivity of those cultures is very important. And we must possess a skill that allow us to learn about different cultures, to understand other cultures, their background, their values, and these differences are positive. We must take it as positive, because if there is a variety in culture in our department, in our professional life, this variety always brings good result. It always maintains harmony, and in this way, don't consider one culture as better than other culture, one culture as worse than other culture. All cultures are important for the people of that culture. All cultures are good for the people of that culture. So never compare the cultures, and be sensitive and aware of various cultures. Second point, gain the knowledge of the culture you have to interact. It is necessary to understand the culture with whom you interact. Your new surroundings makes your discussion more meaningful. This concept has become relevant both in workplace and for making different strategies. It opens your mind and heart to those whom you may not previously have shared an understanding. So try to gain the knowledge of culture you have to interact with, so that whenever you interact, you always gain the maximum benefit, and you can always do the right thing and the proper thing and the better thing. Point number 3, consider the interpretation of listeners. It is necessary to consider the interpretations of listeners. Now all the listeners interpret the message in a different way, and it is necessary for us to understand it. Whatever information is communicated to them by the speaker, the same information is interpreted in a different ways by the people belonging to various cultures and traits. For example, thumbs up, which is a sign of victory for European, is considered as teasing gestures in African countries. So the intention of the speaker is not wrong, but wrong interpretation of listeners may lead to confusion. So it must be avoided. Point number 4, avoid slang in language. It means those words or vocabulary which is not known to listeners should be avoided. Don't expect the people from other parts of the country, nations, to have the same understanding of a word. For example, in America, people wear fancy bags instead of carrying a bag. So they call bag as fancy bags, which is a good word, decent word. But in England, the word fancy is offensive, and the people of England avoid the word fancy bags, but Americans like it. So whenever we talk and we address the people of both America and England, so we must try to avoid the word fancy bags, because it may invite the smile of Americans, but it may invite the anger of British people. So it must be avoided. The word which is popular in one country may be offensive or misunderstood by the people of other country. If we communicate for a serious purpose with the people we don't know, so this is the best way to remain stick to straightforward language, direct language. Instead of using decorative language, colorful language, we must stick to direct language, straightforward language. These words, fancy facts and so on and so forth, must be avoided. Our next point, point number 5, is avoid local language. If we interact with the people of other culture, and if you are trying to communicate some very important technical or non-technical issue. So we must cultivate the habit of using plain as well as direct language. We must avoid the local language. Whatever the local language of the listener is, it must be avoided. If it is not handled properly, it may lead to miscommunication, and the listener may feel bad because they cannot understand what you say, because you are trying to use their local language to impress them. But if you try to use their local language to impress them, and if this language is not used properly and you commit some mistakes in that language, so it may be misunderstood and it may lead to miscommunication. So never do such things. If you go to England and if you want to use some local language, avoid it. If you go to South India and if you use some local dialogue, local sentence, it must be avoided. Because if you go to Punjab, you want to use some local dialogue, avoid it. Because if you don't use this local dialect, local language properly, and you commit some mistake in that, so instead of inviting the smile and instead of inviting the sympathy of listeners towards you, you may also invite the anger and wrath of listeners. So it must be avoided at all in all situations. Okay, avoid local language if you don't know. If you know that language, you can use some sentences. If you don't know that language, local languages and local word must be strictly avoided. Point number 6, be observant. This is very important. A good observation in intercultural communication always eliminates all confusions and makes the communication smooth and natural. If the communicator understands through observation and gets acquainted with the habit, attitude, response, and cultural traits of the listener, he or she can deliver the best without any obstacle or hindrance. So through your keen observation, try to analyze the expectation and demand of the listeners which you need to fulfill during the course of business communication. So be observant means it is necessary to understand the understanding of the listeners, okay, and their level, their habit, attitude, traits. Otherwise it will become an obstacle. If you go and use your own way, own method, own vocabulary, and which is not understood by the listeners, your business communication will go in vain. It is absolutely useless. It is the wastage of time. If you go to North India and you use your own way of talking, you don't understand the level of the people, their culture, their trade. If you go to South India, East India, Australia, America, because you have to go everywhere now. Because you are going to work everywhere. Understanding is very important, and this can be done through observation. So observation is very important. Change your way of style according to the need of the audience, according to the need or requirement of the listeners, because they are doing business with you. They are not your slaves. They are not your slaves. They are doing business with you. So their understanding is very, very important. Next point is be open-minded and tolerant. Open-mindedness is necessary for convincing other people and accepting their point of view. Open-mindedness tries to understand the ideas and viewpoints so that you can compare those ideas with your own ideas. And in this way, if you are open-minded, because you will open to new ideas, opinions, ways of thinking, new cultural perspectives, you are tolerant. This means you are tolerant. And you are ready to tolerate people of different ethnic races and cultural orientations. Being tolerant means that you must be ready to tolerate those people who agree with you, but also those people who do not agree with you. This is very important. We people always like those people who agree with us, and we don't like those people who do not agree with us. But open-mindedness means that we must like all the people, whether they agree with us or disagree with us. This is open-mindedness. For example, some listeners don't have proper eye contact, and some are having proper eye contact at the same time when they listen. This doesn't mean that you start hating those people who don't have good eye contact, because Americans have very good eye contact, direct eye contact, and Asians avoid. This doesn't mean that Asians don't listen. They listen, but their way of listening is different. Sometimes they look here and there, but they listen. Okay, Americans look direct into eyes and they also listen. So if you address the people, delegates of America and that is in Asian countries, and you find that Americans have direct eye contact with you, but Asians don't. So never become angry with Asians. This is their way and style of listening, because in Asians avoid direct eye contact and Americans prefer direct eye contact. So in this way, Americans prefer direct eye contact. So this is what open-mindedness is, that you understand the people, you understand their views, you understand their way of listening, and in this way you adjust yourself, you cope up with the situation, you make planning and strategy according to that. Okay, you don't become angry, you don't lose your temper. Okay, you manage it very nicely. Point number 8, respect other people and culture. This is important, to respect other people, recognize and accommodate each and every person, including religion, language, ethnicity, nationality, and race. Your clients are from different religions, linguistic region, native background. You will get success in winning the favor of those clients of different religions if you respect those people, if you respect their background. Narrow-mindedness is very dangerous in this matter, hazardous. It will close the door of business with others. So be generous and broad-minded and develop this sense of respect for all. Okay, don't, because religion is a private matter, our language is a private matter, and in the business world such things are not so important. What is important is work. Okay, and if we attach importance to religion, culture at the workplace, it will close the door of business. It will affect our business. It will harm our business. So such things should be avoided in the business world, and these things are very dangerous. So these are the points. The first, sensitive and aware of various cultures. Second, gain the knowledge of the cultures you have to interact. Third, consider the interpretations of listeners. Fourth, avoid slang in language. Next, avoid local language. Be observant, be open-minded and tolerant, respect other people and their culture. So this is how to manage intercultural communication. So guys, be ready to face the challenges in future after 2 years, because you have to face this sordid reality which cannot be avoided at all. You will have face-to-face interaction with the people of different religions, different cultures, different ethnic background. So try to be broad-minded and try to adjust yourself with the people of all cultures and lead your business towards pinnacle. Okay, and this habit you have to inculcate and develop from today only, from today itself, that you must consider yourself as a person who can understand all cultures, values, background, and who can adjust and who can understand the people, the listeners very well, the clients very well. Definitely you will become a good manager in future.